Hey, Steve Zonard here with Remax Experts, Zonard Associates. Happy Tuesday morning. Just a real quick update on the market. We didn't do last week, but it was pretty much status quo where we saw the last couple of weeks. But we looked right now this morning. We're at inventory is at 21,763 units, so we're just shy of the 22,000 mark with 1,075 selling. So it's interesting, yeah, we're going to get probably past the 22,000 mark. We're still in May, which we shouldn't be at this high of inventory. I know we're going into June shortly, but it shouldn't be this high. So we might probably see the most amount of inventory that maybe I've ever experienced in my real estate career. Let's see, we're at 21.8 right now. Do we go to 23? Do we go to 24? We'll obviously keep you posted on that. I did an actual absorption rate in all of York region. Our Treb stats have changed. We can't even do this how we used to do it. So now I got to physically get the numbers in myself and put it through a calculation, sort of like an investment portal. But anyway, we're looking at months of inventory. Right now we have 1,100 units in all of York region for sale. Last 6 months we had 1,644 units for sale. So if you kind of break that down, that's 274 sales per month. So we got about 4 months of inventory currently right now in York region. So that's also including single-family dwelling, townhomes, semi-detaches, and also condominiums. So there's obviously a bag of different products available, and this is obviously why we're at the 4 month mark. I'd love to see if I remove the actual condominiums to see where we're at with single-family dwellings, towns, and semis. But we'll keep you posted on that. What we saw obviously here in Florida, a lot more inventory too. We're at 6.2 months in Estero Bonita. So as Toronto really didn't get affected with months of inventory, always had kind of stayed status quo, starting to climb up now. And then Florida's actually starting to drop down, which is great. But let's look at one article. Is this going to be the straw that broke the camel's back? I don't know. Like, I'm very impressed with the way every Canadian held up with their mortgages, obviously with the big changes in the last couple of years. And we didn't see too many defaults. There is defaults clearly, but nothing that I've seen physically with clients or people that I've known. But they were talking now, the regulator says that there's a 76% of outstanding residential mortgages as of February will be coming up for renewal by the end of 2026. So a couple more years. Most worrisome are the 15% of the mortgages that have variable rates that are fixed payments. So why they're so worried about that is because they're basically right now those loans are interest only, and some of them are reverse mortgage where they're actually taking out the principal. So they're holding on to that same payment amount, but realistically they're taking it off. They're paying 100% interest and then some. They're taking it off the original principal paid down the few years prior. Which is kind of crazy. Think about it. Even if you didn't make any principal pay down because it was just, you bought the house in 22 and everything changed, what happens is the principal that you put down, your hard-earned dollars, if you put 20, 30, 40% down, like hard-earned cash, that's getting eaten alive. I don't know. They're kind of worried about this, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore because I've kind of predicted that the market was going to fail a lot sooner based on stuff like this, right? Where there's, mortgages coming due, rates have gone skyrocketed, people jumped into variables, but we didn't take into consideration the reverse mortgage and the interest, 100% interest loans. I'm so surprised they were doing that at the time because reality is that's not part of their common practice under Canadian law. So what happens when these guys got to renew, they're going to have to go under a traditional loan. So if they're paying $2,500, $3,000 a month now, and that's all interest, when you have to tack on a principal payment onto that, you're going to be probably a $5,500-ish call, something around that nature. There was one more article here that kind of basically mentions what I just talked about, inventory. So it says here, Canada warns, Canadian homes for sale climb with the biggest surge of properties available for sale. This is what we're seeing now. We're almost at 22,000 units just in the GTA in Toronto. One of the biggest monthly gains in listed inventory on record as home buyers' demand waned amid persistently high interest rates. The total number of properties in the market rose to 6.5% in April from March, the second largest monthly gain ever, according to data released Wednesday from the Canadian Real Estate Association. That pushed the total stock of homes for sale to the highest level since before pandemic, the data shows. And we're feeling that now. Obviously, we're looking at this at a more of a micro scale in New York region, but they're looking at the whole, all of Canada. But it is what it is. We'll keep you posted. I think we need to obviously watch out for that mortgage. Mortgages coming due in 2026. If you're somebody, if you're watching this and you are part of that, mortgage due in 2026 based on these, you should start considering talking to a few mortgage professionals right now. So someone in the business kind of give you an outline on what you want to do. Maybe you want to sell the property. Maybe in 2 years you know that you won't be able to qualify for this mortgage based on the current events in the market, so affordability and all that. So maybe it's probably a good time to start maybe winding down, looking to flip the property prior. Currently, right now, we're still pretty decent market, but we are going to high inventory. You probably want to time it when the inventory comes back down, and then ultimately flip the property, maybe reduce debt, and then get into a smaller home temporarily until you can kind of do the upscale later on. But that's pretty much it. Have a great day, guys. If you have any questions on real estate, please reach out. Ciao.